It's a beautiful morning to everybody. It's a beautiful morning, Siyanvusela Siyanimugela, and we welcome you to the 2020 CAREER Expo. It's a 5-day expo, and our host is the Ministry of Labour and Social Security jointly with the Ministry of Education and Training. If you're joining us at home, thank you for joining us. You are either watching us on your TV set, but we'd be even happier if you're watching us from your mobile app, the Eswatini app. And if you are joining us on YouTube as well, thank you for joining us. But do feel free to invite others. A party is better when there's many people that are in it. So please make sure that you get more and more people to join us. Sikhulumela indzaba lematima, sikhulumela indzaba lenkhulu, sifuna kulolonga likhono lakho, sisite wena kukwatisa ngemathuba lakhona, lavulwe nguhulumende, nelivela kangwane kwekuthi, siyakubona unekhono lolutsite, siyakubona unemaphupho latsite, sikusita njani ke wena, ukuthi sikuchumanise, nebantfu labangakusita kuze ukuthi ulilolonge, ulicwaninge, litawushintsha likusasa lakho, umndeni wakho, nelive lakho. My name is Gciniwe Fagute. I'm your host for today under a wonderful theme, unearthing your career and nurturing it for a smooth transition to a brighter future. Allow me to honor the dignitaries that are with us this morning. Our host, the Acting Minister for Labour and Social Security, Member of Parliament, Magepholile Shakantu. We'd also like to appreciate the representative of the Ministry of Education and Training. She's represented by the Principal Secretary, Babe Bertram Stewart. We'd also like to appreciate and honor the chairpersons of the portfolio committees that serve with the ministry and assisted and guided in the cabinet, in both houses of parliament. We have with us the chairpersons of both portfolio committees. We'd also like to appreciate the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. And finally, our esteemed panelists and partners. It is truly going to be an amazing and empowering 5 days, starting today with the launch. I've introduced myself. Even though we are virtual, I still believe that the only way to start any gathering is to officially hand it over to the Almighty. So with us, we have Umfundisi Masilela. I will ask him to briefly give a word of prayer, and thereafter, we shall kickstart the program.
A very good morning to everyone. Ngicela sithandaze. Kulelanga la itolo bazalwane bekulanga lokuqala kuvuliwe lokuthi sesingabuyela siye ukhona. And ngiyakholelwa lokuthi njengoba livele eMaswati sonke singemakholo. Sijabulile kakhulu. Siyathanda kubonga kakhulu kuhulumende nakubo bonke labasetihlalweni lokuthi lelithuba abalivule kusukela elangeni la itolo. Ngiyakholelwa ukuthi njengoba side ngetindzaba debantu labasha, tindzaba debantwana bethu ukuthi nabo bangafika kanjani lapha sikhona bendlule bakhone kulihola lelive. Ngicela kufunza livesi ke encwadzini yaMakho chapter number 4. Lelifundzeka kanje. Jesu abengemuva esikebheni aqamele emqamelweni alele. bamvusa bathi mfundisi walala nje si. Namhla lala la sikhona khona sithi asimvuse Jesu. Lokungenteka kube besalele waze waqamela. Nasimvusa Jesu siyamethemba ngokuthi utawekhuta lo moya wa COVID-19. Utawekhuta lo moya lo sivalela ukuthi singakhoni kusebenza siphukise live lakithi lemaswayo. So ke ngicela ukuthi sisathandaza angimathi ukuthi wakho Jesu besalele esikhathi lesingakanani newabani besalele esikhathi lesingakanani kodwa nje kulomthandazo wanamhla ngilokuthi asimvuse nje. Ngicela sithandaze. Let's close our eyes in prayer. Babe wethu lo ingcwele yisiwe Nkosi yethu Jesu Kristu. Namhlanje kuseni siyakubonga Nkosi usipha lesipho sempilo. Sivukile Nkosi siphilile. Wendlula lapho wasigcisha ngemandla ekubhekana nako konke kwalolusuku. Ngilolusuku Nkosi besiluthandazela. Lala lapha sitawuqijisa bantwana beve kokuthi enzaweni yekusebenta kunjani, beve kokuthi enzaweni yekufundzela emakhono lathite kunjani. Siyathandaza babe ukuthi site ngasinye isikhulumi lesikhona la lesitawenda ukuthi bantwana bethu bathi ukuthi kwentekani ngaphandle. Babe wethu lo ingcwele nabo bonke ke labetile kulomhlangano nalabo Nkosi laba silandzela ngaletinye indlela siyathandaza ukuthi baside usiqinise babe siyawuqaphelisisa ukubonga sibabade egameni lika Jesu Kristu inkosi. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mfundisi Masilela. I feel more comfortable now to proceed because the word of prayer has been said. And if you're at home, please continue to stay tuned. This is just the launch part of it. We still have an amazing program that we're going to be unpacking. Please allow me to then welcome the host principal secretary. He's with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, an amazing, dynamic academic himself. He is Babe Tulani Mkalipi. He will give us the welcoming remarks.
Thank you, Program Director. I want to recognize the presence of our Minister, the Minister for Labor and Social Security, Magepolile Chakantu. Also wish to recognize the presence of the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on the Senate, Mage Sylvia Mpetwa. Also want to recognize the presence of my colleague, who is representing the Minister for Education, who has just been informed, she's not feeling well this morning. Babe Bertram Stewart. I also want to recognize our distinguished panelists. I can see they are itching for action, Minister. The arrangement here is that they will actually ask you, Minister, several questions on what we are about here today. So they have been telling me that they are itching. They've got so many questions lined up for you, Honorable Minister. And of course, our Minister for Education and our Portfolio Committee member as well, she'll be called upon to respond to those questions. Program Director, I also wish to recognize all the members who are joining us on various platforms. We are live on TV. We are live on social media, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere where there's social media, we are actually live. We are quite excited about this. We want to recognize our young people who are sitting there at home, Honorable Ministers, in the various Tingulda centers. We have been told this morning that connectivity willing, there are 48 Tingulda centers who are already listening to us. And of course, there are so many other students and learners who are sitting at home, watching television and getting this as it goes. Chairperson Program Director, before I ask my minister to come forward to make her remarks, I just wanted to say something, particularly to say why are we here? What is this all about? What's the connection between careers and labor, for example? What we're trying to do here is seeking to enhance performance of the labor market. The labor market is one of the critical markets in the entire economy. The economy has got several markets. They talk about the money market, they talk about the land market, they talk about markets everywhere, but there's one market which is not quite often talked about, which is the labor market. And then the question that would ask is, what is then the labor market? You know, it's very simple. The labor market is where employers and workers interact to create or to generate wealth. So there is no other market in all the markets that I explained where these two interact to generate wealth. And wealth is what drives us. We are all about wealth. So when they are interacting, of course, there are tensions in every interaction, as you may know. And in that tension, that is actually where we find issues like labor relations and everything connected to, you know, what we see as the manifestation of the relationship between employers and workers. And we are called now and again to manage that space, you know, just to manage that tension. But employers are always looking for skills, the best skills to drive their objectives. And workers on the other end are looking for best jobs. They're not looking for employers. They're looking for best jobs where they will be happy, where they'll express themselves in talent and skills. So, and that's how the market plays itself. So there's always that competition between employers and workers. Now, workers, the only thing that they have to express themselves in that space are skills through their career and vocations. And of course, employers, you know, they also come into that space and express themselves through entrepreneurship. There are actually four key factors of this employment or of this wealth generation arena. There are four factors. One is money. The other one is land and environment. And the other ones, of course, entrepreneurship and skills. Money and land and money and land are your constant factors. They are just sitting there, waiting to be ignited into action. What ignites them into action is what? Is entrepreneurship and skills. So skills is the domain of your employers. You know, whether big or small, it doesn't really matter, but they are in that space, you know, to express themselves through entrepreneurial spirit. But now, we are not going to be talking about that today. We are talking about skills. Skills and skills. You know, skills development is a lifelong learning experience. You actually started from the day one is born until the day one dies. So it's a lifelong learning experience. But there are key aspects, key milestones, you know, in this lifelong learning experience. And 0 to, say, 12, that's at the foundational stages. And the foundational stages are very important. These are cognitive, building cognitive abilities. How that young person processes information, how that young person perceives the environment, and you create the worldviews and discover talent. You know, discover talent, and that's the most important part. But when that talent is discovered, it needs to be nurtured. Between 12 and 18, that's another experience. It's nurturing talent, making sure that that talent is actually nurtured, developed to be something else, not yet fully developed. And 18 going forward, now 18 going forward, we are perfecting the talent. That's talent perfection. Getting that talent ready now to be absorbed in the labor market. So where we are today, we can talk about the other stages of development, which is the domain of our education and training colleagues. But getting the talent ready for the market is what we are about here. Because we have so many young people who finish school. Maybe they have an idea of what talent they have. The education sector at primary and secondary level has done a wonderful job in preparing these young people for the future. But now we have to continue with that training. We have to continue with that skills development to ensure that when employers are looking for the talent, they can actually find the talent. When workers are looking for jobs to do, they can actually brag about the skills that they have and sell their skills, if I can use that word, to the best bidder because they have the skills. So matching that is what we're about here to say, we have to create a system for young people that when they finish high school and their talent are nurtured, we need to prepare them for the future. And that's what we are here about, honorable ministers and everybody else, to say, we are launching a program to create a system for young people to identify with their talent, not only identify with their talent, but once they've identified their talent, they can actually pursue their talent with maximum potential. So, Honorable Minister, can I, with that brief remarks, welcome you, Honorable Minister, to the podium to say what you wanted to say, Honorable Minister. I thank you.
Program Director, thank you very much. Thank you, PS, for that warm introduction. May I first start by greeting the Honorable Portfolio Committee Chairperson of Senate, Senator Sylvia Mtetwa. We appreciate you and we thank you for being here with us today. And appreciate the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Education, who is standing in for the Honorable Minister for Education, the Honorable Lady Howard Mabuza. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And I'd like to take this opportunity to greet all our young people who are watching us from home, and especially those who are watching us from the various Tinkundla centers. We welcome you this morning, and we are very excited that this day has finally come. And I'm sure that you are all looking forward to this day. I've also been looking forward to the day when I came into the office to act as Minister Labour, and I was informed that we are going to have a career expo. I was very excited because I know what a career expo means to a young person who has just finished high school, and you're really wondering what you're going to do next, because you start school, you go through your primary, you go through high school, and you really look forward to finishing Form 5. And that's really the goal. And then you achieve that goal, Form 5. and now you're sitting at home and you're wondering what next. And I really want to congratulate the class that has just completed Form 5 in 2020. I think you've been the most resilient class. You managed to pull through very difficult circumstances. We had COVID, lockdown. You had to find new ways of learning and adjusting and adapting to the new environment that you found yourselves in. So wherever you are, you can give yourself a round of applause and really pat yourself on the shoulder, because you've really not just survived, but you've thrived. And I can assure you that your future will be brighter because you've managed to survive and thrive in a very complicated environment. And you may have seen that as a setback, but it will also help you in the future because you now understand that, yes, I can be at school, but anything can happen. Nobody knew that we were going to face a situation like COVID-19, and you have to learn to adapt. You know, adapting is one of the most important aspects that you can have as an individual, being able to adapt to new environments. You could be in a company and something changes, you have to adapt. New machinery comes in, you have to learn new ways of working, you have to adapt. So I really want to congratulate all of you. May I thank each and everyone present in this launch, both physically and virtually, for showing up to contribute in your different special ways to this important youth development initiative. I wish to extend my gratitude to the moderators and presenters of the different discussion topics over the next 4 days, and do believe that the young people will be so much enriched with their experiences. Special thanks goes to the Ministry of Education, whom is a partner with the Ministry of Labor in organizing this Career Expo. The Ministry of Dinkundla Administration and Development, we also appreciate you for opening access to Dinkundla centers to be used to convene the targeted students. We also thank the Ministry of ICT who have made today possible. They've assisted us, and also Eswatini TV, who have supported us in ensuring that today's event is broadcast live ngimvile PS abala tonke tinkundla ku social media lapho sikhona khona. We thank Eswatini TV and the Ministry of ICT for the live streaming of this event. Today we are launching the Career Expo 2021. When this idea was first mooted, we all never knew it was going to be delivered in the way it is today. The initial idea was to have an outdoor exhibition, a lot of entertainment, something which resonates very well with young people, and have physical one-on-one with students by several experts and industry leaders advising them on career paths. COVID-19 disrupted our normal course of doing business and challenged us to raise the bar in all aspects of operations, from business to and social public service. If it were not for the resilience and perseverance of each one of you in your respective spaces and vocations, particularly 2020 completing class students, we will indeed not be here today to celebrate the success of this special class of 2020 Form 5, Grade 12 A-levels, matric leavers, and to assist them to choose the right careers. We are alive to this important point that completing high school is one of the critical times in every young person's development trajectory. This is a make it or break it transitioning of young persons into the labor market, hence our interest to intervene in this transitioning stage and assist the young persons choose the right career path. The labor market needs young people's sharp minds and creative skills. For young people, However, to realize the maximum potential of their abilities, they need to be placed in the right careers and vocations. Young people's skills have to be a perfect fit for the available jobs in the market. This is the time to choose the right career. It is gratifying that in this Career Expo, we will have speakers from business community who will whom I believe will not only share with the students the various professional opportunities that are out there, but also demonstrate how skills inculcated at young age enhance productivity and job creation. Training institutions will avail information to students how to apply for learning. Success of this Career Expo depends on high school completed students coming forward, listening carefully on the guidance given, and use this opportunity to engage with government, employers, training institutions on many questions they may have on choosing lifetime careers. I am appealing to all high school completed students, therefore, to put everything aside and go to their Tinkundla centers to access the Career Expo broadcast online from today, the 22nd of March, to the 25th of March, 2021. These young people will have access to private internet connectivity, may enjoy the broadcast. Those who have private connectivity may enjoy the broadcast in the comfort of their homes. The connection link will be provided in the mainstream media as well as social media platforms. Young people are encouraged as they choose careers to take particular note of labor job priorities, skills training opportunities, as well as those skills training that government supports outside the country. This is particularly important for the student to strike a balance between what he or she wants to choose as a career against natural talents and also the skills that the economy is likely to require in the short to medium term. In conclusion, with these brief remarks, it is now my pleasure and honor to declare this Career Expo-ESWATINI officially launched, and I wish all of you successful deliberations throughout the week. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. In listening to you, Minister, I would officially drop the acting title and officially confer her the Minister of Labour and Social Security. In the way she articulated the issues, in the way you've addressed the audience present here and the audience at home, Minister, you were really appealing and touching to the issues that we are about here this morning. We thank you, Minister, for officially opening this, and PS, thank you as well for your remarks. At this point, the Minister echoed that we have a viewership at home. It's still of interest to us to grow the numbers in terms of viewers. So if you are watching, please make sure that you invite others. And even if you are here this morning, please make sure that you spread the word. It is about the people at home learning and making sure that we touch on 100 and thousands of lives this week as we are talking to issues of career. At this point, Honorable Minister, I will hasten to move forward to play a documentary. As I said in my introduction, this is a 5-day Careers Expo. We are going to be talking about issues that vary from a number of opportunities in terms of careers. Employers will speak and tell you what the market is looking for. The funders will speak to you. What do you need in order to stand right and be able to access the funding opportunities? And we're going to be talking to the Ministry of Labour as well. They'll delve deeper into issues. You will hear from the educators themselves. So it's a power-packed 5 days. But we're going to show you a snippet of a documentary that highlights really what we will be talking to in unpacking the theme. And that immediately after the documentary, that is where we will then now hear from our panelists. They will comment on the documentary, but we'll also then ask them driving and intriguing questions that will actually get the discussion going. To our viewers at home watching on YouTube, we are enabling so that you can be able to also send us your questions as you are listening to the documentary. Please enjoy the documentary, and I will be back and we'll be joined by 5 very distinguished panelists that will talk us through the theme. Thank you. Welcome and thank you for joining us. We are still continuing with the Careers Fair of 2020, where we are speaking under the theme, Unearth Your Career and Nurture It for a Smooth Transition to a Brighter Future. Phecelezi sizivumbulula likhono lakho ulilolonge kude ube nelikusasa leliqhakazile. The emphasis here is on nurturing it, because what you don't nurture, it doesn't grow. So this segment of the Careers Expo, we're going to hear from stakeholders who are on the ground. They are here to help you sharpen your knowledge. They're here to help you pick the right career. They're here to announce to you and inform you of who can help you and the opportunities that are out there that are all meant to help you as you try and figure out what your career is. So we're going to start with the first segment of stakeholders. They will speak to training. Now, these are all stakeholders that get government funding and run institutions in the kingdom that are meant to help eMaswati to advance their skills and to get the crucial training that they will need. So don't go away, stay tuned. And if you know of any other young person or old, because you are never too old to sharpen your career, please call them. They must join us and start hearing from the stakeholders. Nothing beats the word from the horse's mouth. Do enjoy.
Isicubulo sethu sigwamile Vokteam ngesiNgisimane sithi our hands, our wealth, our minds, our workmanship. Sichaza kuthini ke lapho siyokuthi tandla tethu tingumnotho wethu. Ingcondo yethu ngiyo lesisitako sesikhona ukukhicita. Kuma commercial studies sine course esibita ngathi diploma in business finance and accounting. Le diploma leyo ithatha iminyaka lemibili, that is 24 months. Sifundzisa abantu labatawukhona ukuthi bahambe bayawusebenta etindzaweni letifaka ekhatsi emabhange, bahambe basebenta etindzaweni letifaka ekhatsi tinkampani letinkulu, babe bo accounts clerk, banyuke babe bo accountant, bagcine sebafike kuba bo chartered accountant. But nje kucala lana ukuthini sesibafundisile ukuthi emabhuku agcinwa kanjani. Lenye i-department yesibili esinayo sithi automotive engineering. Ngicela kuyichaza ke le automotive engineering ngilapho khona sibuka ukuthi timoto sitikhenika kanjani. Cishe konke lama courses engikhulume ngawo siyasidinga ukuthi umfundzi abe nawo ema-credits lamathathu.
Mpaka Vocational Training Center is offering 2 courses. That is the engineering series, which is offering a certificate, a national vocational certificate. They write their examination UTEC after they have completed. It takes 6 months. And then the other one is based on the skills that the other centers, the 3 centers, Manzini, Siteg, and Hlangano, are offering. Lama skills, they offer 12 programs in these centers. There are 6 programs that are offering for 6 months, Bapale examination, UTEC. There's civil engineering, there's electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, millwright, and business studies. All these programs are done for only 6 months, and they write the examination after the 6 months. Then again, they offer the other skills courses which are similar to MITC, SITC, and NASDIC. I must say that good cut-off point for entry requirement. The minimum is grade 7. We take individuals for 18 years up to 35 years at the moment. But with time, we will consider the entry requirement. The free education has gone up to maybe from 5.
Siyabonga shothi ngafishane kulesikhathi lesinikwe sona ngumsakazo wakangwane daw present ama programs ethu lesinawo. We've got over 60 programs in the University of Eswatini. We've got 3 campuses, 7 faculties, 2 institutes, Lokong IDE na IPGS. For diploma programs, you need at least 4 credits, including English, plus 2 passes. For degree programs, without singakubana 5 credits, including 1 pass. Singakubeka siklabe sengenhloko ukuthi esikhathini lesinengi le pass lesibese siyayi-add njengoba kuma degree programs sithi 5 credits plus 1 pass igcina sekung plus 1 other credits, then sithi 6 credits ngenxa ye-competition.
Ngathanda ukuqala ukuchaza nge-apprenticeship ukuthi yokuthini. I-apprenticeship is an on-job training lapho khona kuthatha abantwana bayofundiswa umsebenzi etinkampanini. Tinkampani lezinye isikhathi sihambe tibafune especially ama-college lamabili bo-Voctim and i-Court. Abathathe babasayinise i-contract njengoba sathi lokuthi e-college sifunza i-theory. And then ngetinkampanini bese senda lo msebenzi bese ufunza esikolweni. Bakufunzise ke kuba ne-period ke loyithathako. Uyithatha about 5 years. Iminyaka engu-5 solokwenda. Then but nangabe bakuthethe ukuhamba e-college une-diploma kuleyo trade noma kuleyo field, baye baphule iminyaka, siphule iminyaka lemibili bese kuba ngu-3 years. Inkampani ke kufanele ukuthi nayikuthatha ikwentisa le-apprenticeship kufanele ukuthi ikusayinise amafomu. Lamafomu aba yi-3. 1 liba lakho njengesisebenzi, 2 liba lenkampani, then 3 bese kuba la DIVT.
Our Eswatini campus, we have 13 courses or 13 programs which are housed in 4 faculties. And these faculties are the Faculty of Business and Globalization, the Faculty of Design and Innovation, the Faculty of Information Communications Technology, and the Faculty of Communications and Broadcasting. In the Faculty of Business and Globalization, we have associate degree in business management. We have an associate degree in international tourism, associate degree in hotel management. In our information communications technology faculty, we have associate degree in information technology, associate degree in business information technology. In our faculty of design and innovation, we have graphics design, we have creative multimedia, we have music design, and lastly, we have architectural technology. In our communications and media broadcasting faculty, we have associate degree in public relations, associate degree in journalism, associate degree in events management, and associate degree in TV and film production.
Emergency Medical Rescue College started its training in emergency medical care practitioners and rescue technicians in the year 2016. So this training is provided in partnership with the University of Eswatini. So basically our courses are accredited by the Eswatini Higher Education Council and also recognized by the Eswatini Medical and Dental Council. So with EMRC, since its inception, it has brought a positive impact. So basically, to touch up on it is that we are the first college or institution to offer pre-hospital emergency medical and rescue courses within the kingdom. Then, thus, with this inception, it has brought a positive impact in the health sector and in the kingdom of Eswatini. Just to mention a few, in the change of operations, it has also led to procurement of new and advanced life support equipment, and it has also helped in improvement and quality care in pre-hospital care.
Well, we've listened to the stakeholders speaking to the portfolio that is under training, but it always is wise to understand what the market needs. I personally believe that you want to pick a skill that is marketable, a skill that will advance you. So you are better off hearing from the employers. What are the gaps in the marketplace? What are the skill set that they're looking for? What are the competencies they're looking for? Who do they want to join them as the working economy of Eswatini? So we're going to move on to the employers now. We're going to hear from the TSC, the Nursing Council, the Bankers Association, and all of them are trying to say to you, these are the gaps, look at the gaps, and try and find a skill that will fill in that gap. Because what is marketable and will make you marketable is what the market needs at the present moment. So do enjoy and learn as much as you can from the employers.
The Teaching Service Commission have training institutions that they usually employ from, which are as follows: the University of Swaziland, the William Picture, Eswatini College of Technology, Ngwane Teacher Training College, the SANU, Southern Africa Nazarene University, Amadi, CIT, Workers College, Bradford, and Global University. It is where we usually employ our teachers with the different degrees that we usually use, which are the PTD, which is the Primary Teacher's Diploma, the Secondary Teacher's Diploma, and the degree level, which is usually from the University of Swaziland, with different measures. Usually, how is an employment come about in the Teaching Service Commission? It comes about where there is someone who is retiring, or government has created a new post in a new school, or people are living in different for different reasons, like retirements, early retirement, the different retirements, which is early retirement, compulsory retirement, or deferred retirement. That is how then we get a vacancy where we can fill in with a new candidate.
So one of the responsibilities of the Eswatini Nursing Council, it is to set the minimum standards and the regulations for the nursing profession. So since the theme says it is to unearth the career for the graduates, for the students, I mean to say, those who want to enroll into the nursing profession, as they unearth their profession, their career, and nurture it for a smooth transition to a brighter future, I think it is important for them to know why the Nursing Council is here. As I've said, that the Nursing Council, it sets the regulations and the standards for the nursing and midwifery education practice and the professional conduct. So the focus of the Nursing Council is on education, on practice, and even the professional conduct. So today I'm just going to talk briefly about the part of education, of what regulations that the students should know. So in regulation, as the regulations, we know that in the Nursing Council, as I've said, Nursing Council has got powers to set minimum standards for the profession as they practice, when they're educated, and even when they've already graduated, they're already registered as nurse professionals. So the Nursing Council has laid down this nursing and midwifery education standards as authorized by the Nurses and Midwives Act as amended. This is in order to govern and to support in nursing and midwifery education and practice in the country, to ensure maintenance of high quality care for healthcare consumers in the kingdom. In a nutshell, I can say the standards provide a frame of reference for nursing and midwifery education and practice in order to produce safe and competent nurse professionals who will function effectively within the dynamic healthcare delivery system. So the standards that prospective nursing students must adhere to as they unearth their career and nurture it for a smooth transition to the brighter future. It is more on the institutions that I'm going to talk about today, that they should ensure that the institutions that are applying to these training institutions are recognized to be offering the nursing programs. In the country, I would mention we have 4 institutions that are recognized. That is UNESWA, University of Eswatini, and that is SANU, which is Southern Africa Nazarene University, Eswatini Medical Christian University, EMCU, and then Good Shepherd College of Nursing. And another thing that they should ensure, even when they have already chosen those institutions, they should ensure that these courses which are provided by these institutions are recognized.
Solo sikhulumela esicwini lesithi vumbulula likhono lakho ulilolonge sigcizelela lokulilolonga ngoba likhono longakalilolongi ikhono loyofa nalo. Ngingayike eBhayibhelini la sikhuluma nga the 10 virgins labe bane imbawula letina oil. Lona lo wathola umchelelo lo walolonga lelikhono lakhe. So ngiloko lesikusebenzela kona namuhla lokulilolonga, because a skill not worked, a skill not trained, a skill not refined is a wasted skill. So we now want to move on to a sector that will speak to how then do you take your skill? How then do you take that degree? How do you then take whatever career opportunity that you have and enterprise it? Because not all of us, to be honest, will get a formal employment. We are now talking about SMEs. They're the greatest employer in the world. They're greatest drivers of economies around the world. Sithi kuwe thatha leli khono ungahlala ekhaya ne-degree yakho. Yenda yona ikwakhele imali. How do you then change that? Enterprise around it and be an entrepreneur. We're going to hear from a sector that speaks to that, the Ministry of Commerce, the Youth Council, Junior Achievement Eswatini. All of them are saying with a skill, you should never go hungry. So do enjoy that section.
Greetings to all. My name is Mluleki Dlamini. I'm with the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade as a Director, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Today I'll be taking you through a journey in terms of entrepreneurship. We will start off by just getting a brief definition of what basic entrepreneurship entails and what is a micro, small and medium enterprises. Then we'll look at the financial assistance that is available countrywide to assist all businesses. Then we'll also look at the basic economic role of micro, small and medium enterprises. In terms of definition, an entrepreneurship refers to the activity of setting up a business or businesses, taking the financial risk in the hope of making profit. So basically, it entails issues of venturing in an area whereby you do not know what risk comes with it, but with the hope that you will make a profit. So basically, the types of businesses, you're basically looking into informal business, your micro business, small enterprise, and a medium enterprise, which then graduate into a larger enterprise in future. In terms of categorization, we've got our way of categorizing businesses. We've got a micro business that basically has a value of assets of up to 50,000 that employs 1 to 3 people with a turnover of 60,000. So under the small enterprise, we've got 50,000 in terms of value of assets to 2 million assets, which employs 4 to 10 people and with a turnover of 3 million. So the last under micro, small and medium enterprise is your medium enterprise, which basically has a value of assets of 2 million to 5 million with 11 to 50 people employed, up to 8 million profit. So basically that is your categorization of your micro, small and medium enterprises. Where are these businesses located? A recent survey that was done in 2017 indicates that the total number of 68,536 businesses have been registered as micro, small and medium enterprises. Leading is the Manzini region with 28,099 businesses operating there, followed by Hoho at 17,000 and Lubombo at 12, which is Elweni being the last one at 10,966 businesses.
Imali esibolekisa tona nakaqhamuka yedwa nomlomusha simboleka kusukela ku-5,000 siyogcina ku-50,000 emalangeni. Kanti nase kuyinkampani abantu labasha simboleka size siyogcina ku-100,000 emalangeni. Le bayi-cooperative bona siyedlulandlula sigcine ku-150,000 emalangeni. Sisuke sikhuthatha kona lokuthi nabangasebenzi abalithandana ngiko siyivula ibe inengana ngalesikhani ku babanengana sendele ukuthi uma sekwendekile emunye wathola umsebenzi noma wathola indzawo ecollege ashiye ebhizinisini basalela abanye bachubeka nale business itokhona kubhadaleka lesikweleti.
JA indeed helps the youth unearth their career interest. We help nurture the skills and assist in the smooth transition into your future. We are situated in Manzini, the hub of the country, and part of our programs, we help the youth to unearth their career interests, and we basically plant seeds of entrepreneurship and career development to you as young people from primary school age. Then we water them through our interactive programs at secondary and high school level and at out of school level, so that once you are an adult, you can have a good harvest. So you can see it goes from seed, it goes to watering, and it goes all the way to the harvest, which is part of the theme of nurturing your skills. JA programs expose students to practical means of starting and managing a business so they can be future employers or just play a good role in any dream career. JA also assists students to learn business management and entrepreneurship concepts. JA further assists students develop knowledge of personal finance regardless of your level of income through our very unique and thorough financial literacy program. Additionally, we provide students with an opportunity to test their interest in particular careers through the Job Shadow program, which is rolled out at Form 4 level. This is an exciting program where you actually go out and work for 5 days at a company, and this really develops your careers. And we've had so many great testimonies from young people and employers who said some of these young students, they went on to employ them because of the way they conducted themselves. This is just the impact that Junior Achievement Eswatini has in the country.
So one of the things that we hear a lot from the young people we meet on the streets is, how do I then fund my dream? I want to study this, auntie, I want to do that. I look at this, I'm envious, I want. So many people need to understand, how do you then access scholarships? Not only government scholarships, there's scholarships all over. You go online, some universities are offering those scholarships, but you really need to understand what they look for in order for you to get the scholarship. I myself, I benefited from the Ministry of Labor, yes, through their measurements department. They came to my high school, I was still doing Form 4. Oh my God, that's a long time ago. But I remember that when they came, they took me through an aptitude test. And one of the things it unearthed is that I had a very good skill on public sector work, people engagement, development. So that is how I ended up doing public sector work. It wasn't a miracle. I had always wanted to be a doctor, believe it or not. But that unearthed a side of me that I've connected with and I'm attached to, and it has made my skill and my work fun because it links to who I am and what I'm good at. So you are listening and you're trying to understand, what can I do? Please do not turn this dial. Stay here. You want to listen to the Ministry of Labor, their measurements department. You want to listen to the Youth Enterprise Revolving Fund. What do they look for them to fund your business idea? You want to listen to the scholarship board. What do you need to do to qualify to get a scholarship? So please enjoy as you watch. And if you know somebody, once again, I'll keep stressing this. You have no use listening alone. Your friends should be listening as well. Your friends should be getting this information. So please make sure that you invite others to join in as we listen to the funders. Do enjoy.
Scholarship ngilapho sithola umfundzate wekufundza tertiary institution lakhethekile ke kuba makhelwane nala ekhaya kunama tertiary institutions la khethekile La eSwatini sinema-tertiary institutions la ngu-11 lapho uhulumende asebenzisa khona lithuba lethanete bafundzi umfundzate lokufaka ekhatsi i-University of eSwatini, i-Christian University, i-SANU, Southern Africa Nazarene University, ne-Voktim, Kwamile Voktim, ne-Ngwane College, ne-Good Shepherd Nursing College, ne-Limpopo University, ne-Airport le-Betwa Scott, ne-William Pitcher. Kukhona ke ema-universities lakhethekile outside the country lapho bafundzi banga-apply khona baphindze bacele ne-scholarship kuhulumende. Lapho ke siyaye bese sesisebenzisa indlela letitsite tese sibuke ukuthi kufanele yini ukuthi kuyafundwa khona netifundvo le umfundzi atikhethako ukuthi ngitiphi lapho uhulumende asupporta khona.
Kulomnyaka lona 2020-2021 silitiko la Labour and Social Security sitabe sisukumisa lenye i-program emcoka kakhulu kulomsebenzi lesiwendako. Le program lena i-Career Expo. Ngilalapho khona sitawu butsanisa bafundzi kakhulu naba labacetse libanga lika home 5 nabo matric laba sebalungiselela ukuthi bahambe baye ema college. Sitawu khona kuba layela khona emakhono la tawuthi malive esikhathini lesifishane la tawuthi malive nasesikhathini lesitawu kuze ukuthi mabakhetha tifundvo kuya ukuthi bayo train bathi lokuthi lamakhono lawo anikotwa kuwaphi ama-colleges even aphindze futhi nokuthi naloko labakwendako vele kukhona yini lapha bathuba lokuthi batathi mase bacedzile kufundza bangendeka bathola imisebenzi. Sitabe sikhulumisana lo ndzaba leto kutawube kune bantfu lesitabe sinabo lesitabe sikhulumisana nabo lababuya emisebentini le mincane nasemabhizinisini lokuthi babone lokuthi naba labanye labahambele libanga labahambile nanabo ke babahlephulele lokuthi vele uma baya industry bayimisebenzi badzinga bantfu laba kanjani. Lokhu ke kuse ehlitweni lenkulu yethu sinesilitiko ngoba sinemsebenzi lomkhulu sine ukuplana kakhulu human resource planning and development yelive nje lonke. Nyalo nje sinemsebenzi lapha lesiwendako nabaka SAPAC lapha khona senda khona skills audit, national skills audit. Ndawo salethuba nje lokuthi nabo bafundzi laba labasanza kucetha abatsinzane laba SAPAC babevela ukuthi bathini laba semsebentini nalaba emsebenzi lemikhulu nanabo bavele khona ngoba indzaba ye skills indzaba lemcoka isibita ukuthi ne-fuel wa the economy. Singaba nako konke, singaba nayo imali, singaba nayo umhlaba, singaba nako konke kepha uma ema-skills angakho ezingeni lelifanele le economy yethu ngeke i-transforme lesifuna ukuthi i-transforme ngabo. So letikweni ke sinehlelo lesilibita ukuthi laka skills measurement and testing. Lehlelo laka skills measurement and testing sithi lo muntu lona lesimbheke ukuthi angene la emarket ayosebenza asimqalele asafunde kunemabanga ke okuhamba esikoleni una standard 5 na form 3 na form 5 onke lamabanga lawa kuba khona lapha sihamba siteste khona labafundi basebancane lapha babuka lokuthi likhono lakhe likuphi lo mfundi kuze ukuthi makakhetha ifundo atikhetha ka form 1 ngiyabekisa akhethe ifundo lebonakala lokuthi etihambisana nelikhono lakhe noma sakhetha ka form 3 kube ifundo letihambisana nelikhono lakhe noma sacethe form 5 safuna kuye college akangayi ngokuthi uyofunza i-television ngokuthi into lekhona noma lebonakala ukuthi ithandwa mbabe noma ke bangani bakhe bayakhona but akayikhona ngoba uva ngazi ukuthi kunelikhono hayi nokuthi uva ngazi ukuthi kunelikhono kepha ke sebamtestile laba testayo bamtshela ukuthi no likhono lakho lona alikho ka medicine lika television noma ke vele alikho ka television noma ngabe uyayithanza but lika medicine labafundi bakhona ukwenza lokho kumcoka kakhulu ngoba ngiko lo bese sitala ukuthi uma sacedzile ukufunda lo muntu loyo asangene emakethe ayosebenza afike abe highly productive.
We are still speaking under the theme, Unearth Your Career and Nurture It for a brighter transition to a brighter future. So if you've been listening to all the speakers that we've had, they spoke to training. What facilities are out there? What do you need to enter those facilities? We've spoken to the employers. They've told us what the market needs. Where are the gaps? Under the new normal, what is selling? What is buyable? What do they look for? What do they want? Where are their gaps? We've listened to the enterprise units. They've spoken to how do you then monetize your skill? How do you become enterprising with whatever that you have in your hand? Not just waiting to be employed. We've also spoken to the funders, the people that have the money and want to help you to further your career and nurture it. So having listened to all of that, some of you could possibly be still thinking, I still need someone to hold my hand and take me through it. I understand what they're talking about, but I still need someone to just speak me through it. This is what the Careers Expo is all about. His Majesty's government has under the Ministry of Labour and Social Security a unit called the Measurement and Testing Unit. They are the unit that is mandated to assist you, to help you, to guide you, and to help you as you choose a career and nurture it. So please feel free to contact them, find them. They're at the ministry building, and you can trust me, they will talk you through it and help you, because that is what we are all about. We are here to help you nurture, ulolonge, ulicole, uligqokise, grow your skill. Because what does not grow, trust me, it dies. Thank you very much. We trust that the documentary was a good trailer because we could not squeeze in all the content that is available. But we shall be speaking to how you will access and hear more from all the speakers. We do have 4 more days, Tuesday all the way to Friday. At this moment, Honorable Minister, I chose to introduce the Minister for Education and Training after the documentary so that we allow them to also wrap that portion up for us before we get into the panelists. We'd like to welcome the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Education and Training, who is representing the Minister, Minister Lady Howard Mabuza, this morning. Over to you, Principal Secretary.
Thank you very much, Program. Honorable Minister, Maga Senator Silva Mthethwa, colleague Babem Khalipi, distinguished panelists, we are born at Apple. Looks like there is more degrees than what a thermometer has. But nonetheless, Honorable Minister, I think the youth of today are much luckier than us. We never had such facilities as Careers Expo. I remember my passion was to become a motor mechanic. For a very long time, I mechanic because there was this guy, he used to fix cars together with his sons, and they always had money. So I thought to myself, the only way to have money all the time is to become a motor mechanic. Until one career expert sat me down, and that career expert was my grandmother. She asked me what I want to do in life, and I told her exactly my dreams of becoming a motor mechanic. That dream ended in 5 minutes of our conversation. And then I began to realize that there's more to it. And not that motor mechanic is a bad thing, it's a fine thing, it's nice, I love it even now. If I could retire, I would consider it as a career. But I think it's very, very important to be guided professionally on what you have to do, what you are capable of. Don't just do a course because you see somebody being successful having done that course. I remember at some stage, the law profession had a lot of rewards. Everybody wished he could be a lawyer. Not minister, other lawyers out there, not you. But then after some time, you began to see that it looks like now we are having more lawyers than criminals. But then already that industry was saturated, the same as in teaching. People people like teaching because the assumption is that a job is guaranteed. That's not the case anymore. So as learners pick their courses, they should understand that they pick a career where the ball will be, not where the ball has been already, because it will never go back there again. So that is the futuristic perception that young people have to consider as they choose perceptions. Before I digress, Honorable Minister, I was sent specifically by the Honorable Minister. She sent her apologies. She's not feeling very well. So she gave me this speech. She said, I must read this speech word for word. What I've been saying all along is what I'm personally thinking. But now I am reading what I've been instructed to read. The Honorable Minister's speech, if she was here, would have gone as follows. Good morning to you all. May I first take the opportunity to congratulate the Ministry of Labour and Social Security for the launch of this historic milestone, the Career Expo 2021, which is aimed at assisting our learners to unearth their careers so as to make the right choices for their future. If you know the possibilities are out there, it is indeed the first step to think deeply about the career option that you can take. This will give the learners the opportunity to study in depth what their career entails and where they can best access training towards that qualification. I am happy that we have successfully collaborated with the Ministry of Labour and Social Security in this regard. I'm happy especially because this Career Expo is not only meant for learners in the urban areas, but means have been made to reach learners in the most rural areas of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a talent out there that is awaiting to be tapped into. I have no doubt that this Career Expo will indeed touch the right button in the learners to set the young brains in motion for the right career choices. This innovation will definitely enhance the envisaged improvement of our country's economy through the right and relevant information about what is available. For that, I'm grateful to our institutions who have agreed to participate and the work industries who have joined hands with us today. We are all aware that the country is currently fighting to rise from the fiscal economic meltdown, which is affecting everyone equally. A good number of our youth, which forms 77% of the country's population, is without jobs and therefore are not effectively contributing to the economic stability of the country. The focus of this Career Expo is to empower our young people with knowledge of which careers are major suppliers of workforce in order to be able to think carefully about the jobs that are available and therefore the right career pathways to embark on. It is with great pleasure and satisfaction that I therefore stand before you today with the Honorable Minister for Labour and Social Security to welcome this new Career Expo, which I am reliably informed is the first but definitely not the last. I would therefore like to invite all learners, the ones who are already out of school and those still in classes from 4 and 5, to take time to join the Career Expo, to learn from this experience so that they can be exposed to what is available in order to make the right choices as they prepare to exit secondary school, secondary education, and those already out of school to reconfigure their choices. To all learners, we are very lucky to have this opportunity ukuthi nivumbulule emakhono enu niwalolonge ukuthi nibe nelikusasa lelichakazile, to reiterate the theme of the Career Expo. If you can ask other people, they will tell you that they would have made better choices had they been exposed to this opportunity. With these few words, I thank you for listening. Phela lapho speech sa minister ngangethi lutho siyabonga.
Thank you very much, Principal Secretary, who was speaking and representing the Minister for Education and Training. We equally would like to thank your grandmother. P.S. I'm imagining a mechanic in you. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, the Minister spoke to a section that would have experts and panelists. Utsite PS gu sakasa kaloma degree. Longana umfati kaCoco. And we celebrate you for that, because it is you that we look up to in any case. Honorable Minister, go panel yethu sina Shemeni Sehlalo lo weboard yaka scholarship Babe Stanley Dlamini. Sina losuka etiko laka education and training guidance officer Ngbabe Gcinmuzi wakamsibi. Sina long CEO we Youth and Enterprise Fund Babe Begizwe Mazia. Sina director from the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry Lobugetaga Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Babe Mlulegi Dlamini. And finally, we have Dr. Salebona Simelane, who is the registrar at UNESCO. Honorable Minister, these are our panelists, and we will have a few questions for them as a means to guide their interaction to the documentary we had. But as we do so, I can see vele microphone ikuwe mfanenkosi wakadlamini ngicala emalangeni vele la khaya siqala ngani inkosi so vele lo mbhobho bawubeke kahle nkosi. We will start with the chairperson of the scholarship board, but we'll continue to appreciate the viewers at home on YouTube. We are seeing your comments we have received from Botsebsile Nxumalo, from Jele NT, from Petit Dlamini, all of them appreciating this intervention. Continue to watch, and this section is going to be equally as important. Chairman, you were scholarship board. I remember when I went to the scholarship board, I was so intimidated as a young girl. And practice Swat. And it's strange why you'd practice your own language, but we did, and the children still do. Yet they should know Siswati and just speak it Ekai. But nonetheless, Chairperson, the three questions that we'd quickly like to squeeze into you, Ebabe, in this discussion is, Banfana are normally saying, Seng apply kulel formula, Chairman. I have put that I grew up in a specific place and my birth certificate says the same. Seng yakubabe chief enzaweni yami, chief says angwati wena, awusuko wala. Kusene kwendeka ke lo mbuto uthi ke Chairman, nifuna muphi ke lela kwatalelwa make khona noma kwatalelwa babe khona ngiwakuphi mine, where was I born and which chiefdom should I then put in my form? The second question, Shemeni, is one of qualifications. For a qualification for a diploma and a degree, atini lama cut-off points that you look at. Ni tubago pin as a board and consideration gulama point now. And then finally, Shemen, the question would be, does the board then consider a social background? Ema questions of equity, Shemen. Kutola tinebala dolopeni yin banfana no man ninendla yubuganil board guguti. Nati banfana suge makaya that possibly are not as exposed as what you would perceive as urban children. Bawatfola inbona ematuba ipoti iyakubuga yinlo. Over to you, Chair. You can speak babe uhletlas kona and address the questions.
Ngiyabonga mphathihlelo. Ngiyajabula ukuthi uyafakaza nawe ukuthi nawe ebhodini bebaku intimidate labo baboshifa. Ufute kambe nakuhamba kahle khona kube kanjalo. Ikakhulukazi ngoba scholarship bantwana bemaswati. Umbuto wakho ke uthi ungendeka chef wami akafanani naleli ngambhalisa phansi noma ke leli ngambhala phansi akusiko la ngihlala khona. Ka scholarship ke sithi indzaba yabo chef kahle kahle ayisiya lo mntwana. Ngoba lo mntwana lo uthi azalahleke nakuthiwa kubo chef usho ukulahlwe ngilabatala. Usually sithi ubotana babo wakho noma mama wakho kusasa utosichazela ukuthi yini lobe nechief wakho lo ihlukile kuma kwakho. Sizathu sekuthi sis-align labo chief kulabatali ngilokuthi naso tracker lo mntwana sekacedze le scholarship sahulumende, you should be able to track to the right chief. So usually umuntu lo watiwa ukuthi umntwana wakho uphi ngimake noma ngibabe. So ngiyongithi akusi problem lenkulu yalo mntwana. Nakafika la lahleka khona umntwana bese sisibota nemntalo wakhe. So nakefika ke nemntalo wakhe sesiyaba align sibacela ukuthi baxwabise intro dabo tibe kahle so that nase litiko licale khambe la imali lingayi kushift lo wrong. Ngiyethemba ngophendula kahle. Bese kuthi ke uteka indzaba ye cut off. I cut off yema institutions ala ekhaya nangabe ofundzela i degree the minimum threshold is 25 points. Lokusho umntwana nakayengwane teacher training college aye Nazarene aye Scott or sebazi Ecot. But for all students laba pursue a diploma, minimum threshold is 25. Bese kuthi be degree mu 27 points. No 25 points no is 27 points umthatha from best 5 subjects alomntwana. Utawona usinabe the presentation base university bathi the best 6. Naso scholarships it's best 5. Lokusho ukuthi I cut off I lap. But I must quickly say that ukuthi le 25 points nalo 27 points who apply when there is no competition. If the class le bantwana le baga become lithi bathatha 100 kan bantwana ba apply le bang 200. Lokusho ukuthi sekufuna sale senyusa le cut off. Mhlambe ifike ku 30. To some instances, you can just figure out 33 points. Look, scholarship. It's by competition. It's by merit. Look, the cutoff it also determined by the competition. But 25 points, 27 points is the minimum threshold. Now I pass kwa logo. The ideal situation that you are below the threshold. Utsi umbuto ekugcina ngabe siyayiconsider any background noma sibuka icorridor. Labantwana laba asinenzaba ukuthi babuyaphi. Sinenzaba yokuthi acceptile i-university noma kune acceptance letter from a recognized institution. And siba interviewer based on my point up. Kokuthi nang lo mntwana lo ubuya ensingzi nona 27 points yofundzela kuthishela ngwane so ukahle. Kuyendeka ke vele ukuthi lo mnye umntwana na interviewer usebhodini udiscover ukuthi mhlambe ushaye ngaphasi kwale cut off. Asengithi ukahle ku threshold. But le class lakhe lifuna inombolo lethiphi. Lokhanza ukuthi lo mntwana akasa qualify mhlawumbe una 30 points kani sesilibeke 33 points. Uthi uthi yambuka lo mntwana ukhanza ukuthi ngilabantwana laba lesithi ba destitute. Usually board sik ascertain interview lo. Ibese seya recommend icela ku minister. Uthi minister the board recommends ukuthi lo mntwana lona amananakeke. Umntwana lo destitute. Bese kuba ngumntwana lone physical challenge. Angifuni ukusebenza igama handicap. Because na efika ebhodini uyambona whether sikwenda virtual noma sikwenda the traditional way. Uyambona lo mntwana ukuthi une physical challenge or disability. Bese sesenda i-recommendation ukuthi ibhodi recommenda ukuthi minister ngoba thina siniketa umsebenzi ukuthi sibuke na police nice award according to the police. Anything outside the police we can recommend to the minister. Kutsa dai. Ngala kugcina lo ishite siswati. Kende awuzo interview umntwana. Ehluleke ukukhuluma Swati. Nakhona sesibite lo mtali. Kutsa totolgela lo mntwana ngoba phela akusi problem yalo mntwana. I-problem yalo mntalo ukuthi udlala nabaphi bantwana. Mhlawumbe akadlaliswa nabalekhaya ngoba lekhaya sikhuluma siswati. Ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga kakhulu. That was the chairperson of iboard yaka scholarship. Singachubeka siyifaka imibuto sitawukhona kulithola lithuba na usekhaya ukuthi sibute le mibuto kulama panelists ethu. Siyabonga kakhulu sidalo nami sengikhuluma leSwati kutokhomba ukuthi ngasithola ngaliphi le scholarship. Nalokuthi ngileSwati phaca ngiphelele sheme. Ngiphelela ngiswele indzawo. Sichubeke nyalo sivele sale sewelela ku registrar wase UNESCO. Dokotela lokungenda ngwelele kuwe ngiloko ukuthi na chairman ukile wa referrer to the university. Imibuto level ile chairman registrar lengaconza ngakuwe is how old should certificate semphana be? I'm a student dambe sengaceda nga 2010. And certificate sami it's 11 years later. Ngisengakhona yini dokotela kwekuthi ngisebenzise sona kwekuthi ngiapply. The second question ikhulumisa lokuthi when you think Careers Expo uvamise ukucabanga labancane labaqeda kuqeda esikolweni bese lo mbuto ukuthi yini le mature age entry, how does it work and what are the qualification criteria lahambelana naloko dokotela? And then finally sengingenile ke enyuvesi sengiqalile kufunda ngithathe ku program thide ngisengakhona yini dokotela sengekhathi ngibone ukuthi ngathi ngilahlekile ngala ngifisa ukuyawungena ngesheya kulenye iprogram same university kuyendeka yini lokho that I change programs, and if possible athini dokotela lama requirement? Over to you dokotela. Thank you.
Angibonge kakhulu program director. Anesikhuluma nje nawe kuphela babingelele. Lapha bonke laba. So ngicela ukuthi ngiphendule lembuto lese ibutiwe. Siyabonga kakhulu program director lembuto. Lo eqala uthi kumele ukuthi certificate sami sibe sala kangakanani ukuze ukuthi semkeleke singasebenzisa ukuthi ngene. I think the example that has been given is that of a 2010 certificate. We have no limit in terms of certificate. As long as if it is good, you can use it to compete fairly well with all those who are applying at inzaba nje sekutheni we are qualifier yini ngaleso certificate. Right now sikhuluma inzaba yokuthi should have 6 O-level passes or 6 passes from Form 5. Lama passes lawa kube ngema credits langu 5 at least. Lelenye ke seyingaba yi-pass nje, but nase compete mbamba utawuthola ukuthi mhlambe labangenako ngilala bathole ama credits cishe kuyafana nalokho lobekushiwo nguchairman waka scholarship selection board. Lo lebengathanza kukusho kulo leliphaca leli sekuyavela futhi la ekutheni i-mature age entry program yani isebenta nakwenteke njani. Lokuthi lo lofuna kuya e-university ungakanani side sine lo mnyaka nalongangami nje usengangena ayofunda futhi usengangena provided uya qualify ngoba empeleni inzaba yekuyofunda khulume wena program director nge-equity. I-equity ayisi synonymous ne-equality lesikhathi uthi labantwana kumele bachamuke kuphi. They're talking in terms of equity. Kokuthi siyambukela yini nalo chamuka lapho kuhlushekwe khona. Equity ke sibuke lokuthi senedisadzingo dabo bonke ngalokufanele. So la kunebantu lotawuthola ukuthi mhlawumbe ufunze esikoleni where really it's it's a school in the rural areas. There hardly any I should say the school is not adequately supplied with qualified teachers. And if that's the case, you may find that even good students from that background might not make it at the end of their school career. They need to go to university, but they might find themselves going to, let's say, maybe some employment. While they're in employment, they are maybe putting aside some money. They're still nursing a dream of going to university. Here we come by, we say as a university, fine, what has this person been doing since completing high school? Have they been doing some maybe mini training or learning? Have they got some papers to attest to that? And if they do, we are willing to consider those qualifications that they may have. In fact, glamanye mave by bakulume added qualifications, noma la skills, all those things count to help the student access education. So it's an age limit, as is in minimum age, yala 22 years. sisilomuntu lona nangabe sona 22 years akaphasanga kahle mhlambe esikolweni, but they're still willing to pursue a certain training career university. Let them come forward, but apply, and they go through an examination. They sit an exam that they're expected to pass. Other than that, they are invited for an interview where they can actually respond to questions in front of a panel, and that panel will decide whether that person can be taken on as a student or not. So that is beyond the school living certificate. But then loku hlupha nje kuyabekwa ukuthi imvamsa yesikhathi those students do not benefit from the Eswatini government scholarship. But logo akusiko kwakami ngiyakuveta nje ukuthi babe aware ukuthi ezibasebenta abayibeke eceleni imali so that they can, pay for their education. Transfer to a new program, yes. Someone may apply, for instance, to do a Bachelor of Science in agronomy in the Faculty of Agriculture. And while they're in class, within the first so many weeks, they figure out that they're not cut out for agronomy. Maybe it's very difficult, or perhaps they hate. I'm sorry to use that. Well, it happens really. They have a dislike. Maybe they have a dislike for the program. They feel that, look, I would rather go to the Faculty of Health Sciences and do a bachelor's degree in general nursing. And it all depends on whether there is space in the new program where they wish to transfer. And if they qualify, qualification here would actually go to the extent of saying, look, the people or the students that were admitted into the general nursing program had a cut-off point of 43. Do you meet that requirement? If you do, then we are willing to actually say to this person, yes, you may transfer. However, if you are on government scholarship, then touch base with your sponsors to get consent from them that you may transfer. There should be space in the new program. You should qualify, and that new the officials in that new program are willing to actually consider you, and then clear with your sponsor, then you're home and dry. I think I've answered all the questions, Brother. Thank you.
Siyabonga kakhulu Dokotela. Thank you. I think it was very clear. But as we are continuing on the live platform, Minister, there are questions that are still coming through. So the panelists, before I move to the next one, there's just 3 follow-up questions to you, Shemeni, that I would like to squeeze in quickly. The first one is from Hannah Mendes. Oti Hannah, let's say you do not know your chief and none of your parents are still alive. What do you then do? That's question 1. Question 2, from Mlandvo Nkambule. Does the scholarship board require a credit in Siswati? Is one of the subjects that you counted. And then finally, Utim Duduzi Dlamini, is medicine still in government's priority list? Thank you, Shemeni. Just briefly, Wulao Babe, then we'll move on to other questions.
Siyabonga mphathihlelo. Mhlambe angiqale ngala ngasekugcineni. Is medicine still a priority? Yes. Almost all the health programs are a priority in this country. Almost all of them. Without necessarily saying which one. Bese kutsi Siswati one of those subjects that one must credit or do. Udawukhumbula ukuthi the previous government, in particular the Prime Minister, Dr. Sbusiso Dlamini, once said, Bantwana labaya scholarship should have passed. And in fact, the Siswati language should be one of the qualifying criteria for students to get scholarship. But again, Kuma scholarship guidelines is said the law. That is why Kuma Swati is basis I think it's by design. In short, it's not in the scholarship guidelines as we speak. Bese kuthi ke lona batali bami bonke bashona. Angibathi boshif babo. Such that nanami shift wami angisamayo. Kulel form kuyasho ukuthi ligama lami, you give your profile. Letinto takho up to your chiefdom. I mean, bese sekubala ngilabadala bakho uyasho ukuthi parents are both deceased. Bese kuba nelform le guardian. Lokusho lo mntwana uthatha shift walo guardian. It's as simple as that. Lokusho shift walo mntwana na shift wa guardian kufuna kufanana. Yes. Siyabonga.
No, siyabonga kakhulu Chairman, kuyakhanya nembala. At this point, I will move to the Ministry of Education and Training, and there we have the Guidance Officer, Babegcinumuzi Msibi. Just 3 questions, and one of them links to a question Lebutwe Ngunati Catalyst, he calls himself on YouTube. The first question is, as a ministry, do you have ways then of assisting learners to follow their correct career path? And at what stage do you do the intervention layer? And if esikolweni lengifunza kiso there is no career guidance or counseling teacher, then where can I get this sort of assistance? And then finally, ngingumfana sekulahleke itifiketi tam, and they are needed. They could be needed nyalo sengisikolweni noma ngidinga go apply for that, or for them using them. Ngititfola njani Babe Msibi, over to you, Babe.
Okay. Honorable Minister, Labor and Social Welfare, Labor and Social, and then the Chairperson Labor and Social Security, PSs, all protocol observed. Nyabonga kakhulu Mtolo. Umbuto wemvana wekucala uthi ikhona indlela lesibasita ngato bantu ukuthi bakhone choose the right career for themselves. Actually, inengi indlela manengi lamathulusi lesiwasebenzisako ekusiteni umvana identify i-gifting yakhe, identify skills sakhe. We begin as early as primary school. As early as grade 6, we have what we call a career walk. A career walk basically inform the child ukuthi unenvolo kuthiwa i-cardiologist, what do they do? Unenvolo kuthiwa is a speech therapist, what do they do? It's more of an informative tool lelo. And then when they get to early secondary, une career quest call. So the objectives are the same, is to help the child be aware of lama career options la corner. And then when the child gets to Form 3, utafika pale aptitude test. This is where we collaborate with the Ministry of Labor. And then in the schools, we have what we call guidance teachers. These are ordinary teachers, but whom we have upskilled in guidance to help the children to interpret lama aptitude test result. Because they will write the test, the results will come back, and then bahlale pass labanvana na tishela wa. Amhumushele ukuthi lama results lawo athi wena you are more suited for social sciences. You are more suited for this type of career. So ingena lapho ke. And then we also use interviews. Interview alumvan and find out what ticks all your boxes. What kind of career do you feel excites you? You look at exam results. Athi lama symbols alumvan. Ngupla kwente kahle. All these are tools which we combined Sita Umvana to pick the right career choice. Now we go a step further as well as a ministry. We have the life skills curriculum which is being taught in all secondary schools. These soft skills that will help the child. Successful. Laglama life skills, we have topics like goal setting. Tawuvumelana bakangwane ukuthi lo mfana uma simsitile with setting this personal goal, chances of that goal being achieved are multiplied. We have topics like self-awareness. These are topics that sit alumvana, firstly, to accept him or herself, which this is me. This is what I represent. This is what makes me tick. We have topics like interviews. How do you conduct yourself in an interview? We have got topics like time management. One critical skill is they do blended learning. All these other skills are just there to enhance abe successful. And then one of the questions was, if I didn't get the opportunity to go through all these. In all the regions, all 4 regions, CAREER, we are based there. It's called the Guidance and Counseling Departments, are based in the REO's offices in all 4 regions. Eshiselweni asenhlangano, kahoho, alapha eDlanbeka, kaManzini aga REO's offices, and then eLibonjeni again aga REO. Lomana can come there. Afike asho ukuthi I did not get a chance to do this. I did not get an opportunity to do this. Tinege, as guidance officers, that's where we'll come in to assist the child. Ngambhalisa ngisho some of these tests on the spot, like the self-directed said. We can do that. Yes, nasekufuneka abe last stamped utaweka Ministry of Labor. But these offices in these regions are precisely for that reason, to cover these gaps. Ukuthi ukhona umvana lo loses something. I think the other question was, ngilahlekelwe certificate, what do I do? This surprisingly is a common occurrence. Okay, if a child has lost a certificate, there are steps that she or he should take. The first one is you report it obviously to the police, because the certificate is a serious document. So you go to the police, they will give you a police report. And then you go to the Exams Council of Swaziland. There is a form they will give you there. You will fill the form, you will pay 300 rand. But remember, you carry your ID. There's nothing you can do that's official if you are not carrying your ID. And then you fill that form and you'll pay the 300. And then you must also get a letter from your school. You submit those things, and then they will prepare or rather do for you now what we call a statement of certification. It's no more an original certificate. There can only be one original. So once you have lost the original, whatever you'll get from there is no more an original certificate, but it's a statement of certification. It's just a statement that says, this so-and-so did write an exam. These are the symbols that she got or he got. So learners must know it's no more an official certificate, but it's still an authentic document that you can use to go into college. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Baba Msibi. And before ugoqote, Ndlondlo kunembuto from Matsidiso K. So I mean, from 5 right now, when is it the right time then for me to apply for university?
Okay. The right time to apply is when the applications at the universities are open, right? But, but the right time to start preparing for university is now. You start now to prepare. Number one, you must know where you want to go. Which colleges do you want to go to? What are their minimum requirements? Am I actually in the right stream? Or have I picked the right subject for what I now want to go and do? And we always encourage also, there's also one thing, because when we talk of preparation for university, one of the things we always advise our learners to do is, for example, do an internship on the career that you want to do. If, say, I want to be a doctor, if then I go and ask maybe from a private doctor, look, I want to be a doctor. I want to know how it feels like to be a doctor. Can I just work around here so that I get a feel of what being a doctor is like? Though Umgoni will not confirm it in writing, but I think if a college comes, I go to a college, I say, I'm applying for this course, but I've done X amount of weeks internship on this. It also says to them, this is a determined, serious person who really wants to do this course.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Guya Kanya. And it is actually wonderful to know that Emakaya Minister, they are really following and they are really interacting with what we are speaking to. At this point, we move on to the director, Babemluleki Dlamini, who is from the Ministry of Commerce under the Department Yaga Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Babemluleki, one question le ekoishwa ngba shembendulo on YouTube is lewe kuthi siphila under the new normal. Globalization and the world has digitized world over. Umbuto ke uthi, where are the gaps then now? Which sectors are saturated? Singatopolo kufuna kuyakhona kanti sekugcwele. The second question, and kancane babemsibi touched on it, ithi, so why do then employers want me as a student that just left tertiary to have work experience? Ngoba phela vele ngibuye esikolweni. So say buya pige, how do I bridge that gap and how do I get some form of experience because vele iyadingakala? And then finally, is there a portal or any place that a student can get information of where my internship and volunteer programs are available? Or mphana nje vele uyaphuma yatifunela, or is there a way yekusitakala sati ukuthi company aina binasi, they normally do have such programs and initiatives? Thank you so much, Babe. Over to you, Ngozi.
Thank you very much. Program Directors Vusele Bahlonishwa in the house. It's good to have you here today in this function. Siyabonga Bahlonishwa Vusele nabo PS. Starting off with the issue of e-commerce, I think it's a relatively new concept which is coming through with the fourth industrial revolution. So I hope as the youth, they will make it a point that they take the advantages that come with it. And also maybe just get out of the tendency of kutsi now bonelo mnyakala this business you also follow. Just do something else, because I think that is basically what is killing the businesses at this stage. So we've seen it happening, and unfortunately we do not have regulations that try to address those issues, because you will see someone opening a grocery shop down the street and another one opening up the street. So those kind of competitions then become an issue in terms of business continuity, and you will find that they now struggling to continue with their business. So it will be just to appeal that let us be innovative in our approach as we get into entrepreneurship, and not to just look at be in a repetitive kind of enterprising. Just be innovative, start a new business that will service a new clientele altogether. We can see that, as I highlighted, that e-commerce comes with opportunities and areas which are saturated. In most of our businesses, as we did the last survey of businesses as FinScope, it indicated that our businesses are mainly in the retail business. So basically, we see that there are opportunities that we need to try and also go to value chain addition, value addition, and also supply chain management, because there are quite a number of opportunities in those businesses. So we should not all be in the redistribution business, because retail is more like you source and then you redistribute, but we need to add some value on whatever products that we want to sell. Coming into the issues of why do employers now want experience, yet you are from training? From an entrepreneurship perspective, I would say that we definitely try to engage the students, to take them through, like as JA presented, that we've got a program on job tailoring. As institutions, different institutions, we should embrace that and have them being part of those programs. We also do in-school and out-of-school programs for participants, students. So those also expose them to the work environment. So basically, they can get the necessary skills and expertise in anticipation of a future engagement in those different areas of specialization. So basically, I would react in that way. And one last one, which majority of our students are not taking advantage of it. The graduate enterprise program that we did with SETCO. In the past, we used to take them over a 10-month period whereby we're training them on business management and business plan development, and also how do you come up with a business idea. Then after that, at least the youth fund is with me here, because the people who are talking about here, they fall within that category. So we are still talking, how do we get those ideas developed up to funding and also mentoring to see them growing to be big businesses. So we still have that gap. We really need to find that balance so that all the businesses that are started can graduate to large enterprises. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Babe Dlamini. Thank you for responding to the questions. As the program director for this launch part of the Careers Expo, it's unfortunate because we have so many questions that we've run out of time. And before we could hear from the Enterprise Fund. But because we are continuing in the following days, there will be another section that will speak further into all the issues that the Enterprise Fund will speak to, but also to answer the questions that came up from our YouTube page. Honorable Minister, we thank you for officially opening this initiative. We even thank His Majesty's government for this initiative. It is very clear, Minister, that the need was there and the hunger for information is there. We thank the organizing committee, and to you, our viewers, tomorrow, 10 o'clock to 1 p.m., from tomorrow all the way till Friday, same time every day, we'll be continuing under this theme, speaking to the many questions that came up and making sure that your questions are answered. Do join us as we unearth your career and nurture it for a smooth transition to a brighter future. Thank you for joining us this morning, and we look forward to being with you throughout the week in our 2021 Careers Expo. Thank you very much. Honorable Minister and guests, we are off air. Formal apology, it was an issue of a late start, so we had to make sure we are done at 1 o'clock. Refreshments are served outside, so please join the ministry as it is hosting you to close our morning properly. Siyabonga kakhulu. God bless you.